couple of months ago, my homies and I decided to rent an RV so we could travel to our dream destination, the Italian Dolomites. As much as we enjoyed our trip, there were quite some less enjoyable moments as well. We planned to stay here for 10 days but already came back after 7. More on that later in the film. When I was younger, I was never really drawn to spend time in nature, do hikes, or just sitting still and taking in the views. But the older we get, the more we feel like we want to connect with nature. I just feel like I want to escape the city life and experience peace and stillness. We've been waiting to experience a holiday like this in nature for such a long time. The sheer scale of the mountains was truly breathtaking. You could even smell the freshness of the air and feel a light breeze of wind going through your hair. This place truly looked like a real-life painting. I wish we had these kind of views in Belgium. We truly felt grateful right from the moment we arrived. We ended the day sleeping next to a beautiful lake with one of the prettiest colors of water I've ever seen from a lake. So clear and so blue. Even though we were exhausted, the lake was calling our names to take a plunge in there and refresh ourselves, even though we knew it would be quite cold. Moments like these truly make you feel alive. We didn't know what to do the next day, but we stumbled upon a cable car ride that went up to Tofana, a mountain with a height of 3,224 meters.
Let's go!
We had to grab 2 cable cars to get up there. We were quite shocked by how expensive it was. If you feel more adventurous, you can also hike up the mountain. There is also the option to take the cable car up with your mountain bike to then descend on an impressive downhill parkour. When we reached the top, the views were underwhelming due to the thick, low clouds. Gradually, the sky started to clear up and the views slowly started to reveal itself. The feeling of standing on top of a mountain this tall felt surreal. So we just got one of the most insane views, and it'll cost you 40 euros, but guys, I'm telling you, it's more than worth it.
E doe il salto.
Sono proprio veloce, mi raffreddo, ho dovuto tirare.
If the day couldn't get any better, we ended up with the best pizza of the entire trip in one of the highest restaurants in Europe. To end the day, we found a nice sleeping spot next to another beautiful lake. We decided to take another plunge, but this time Kane joined us. The following day, we set off for the Trecime hike, only to find ourselves completely lost along the way. Luckily, we arrived pretty early at the trailhead since the parking lot filled up quite quickly. After having waited for more than an hour to catch the bus to the top, we could finally start the hike. The heavy crowd was quite a turnoff, to be honest. Anyways, enough whining, time to start hiking. We didn't have to take too many steps before we were presented with an insanely beautiful view. It almost felt like we were on another planet. Just look at these views, man. Unreal. Unreal. I truly wish we had something like this in Belgium. During our first stop, we connected with the local birds and shared some protein bars.
Trap me niet.
Maat, dat is echt zot hoe dicht dat die komen, maar gast.
Dat is al terug.
And now it was time to continue towards the next refugio.
Dat klik dingetje.
Ja, dat is echt nice.
since we were so well prepared, we exactly knew which direction we'd have to take to continue the hike. Since we didn't prepare our route and the local map was very unclear, we decided to just keep on going straight, which was very illogical if you think about it, since we had to get back to where the RV was parked at the trailhead. After hours of walking and descending far too much, we realized we were totally lost. Exhaustion and frustration set in. Once we finally took a decent look on Google Maps, we found out that it would take 18 kilometers to get back to the bus stop, which meant that we would arrive there after midnight without any bus on service. We were exhausted. Taking the same route back, we'd be facing tough uphill climbs. Luckily, we found out that if we'd continue walking straight, we'd arrive at another parking spot 30 minutes away from us. Upon arrival, the bus driver kindly called his colleague to hold the next bus for us, allowing us to catch a connection that dropped us off in a town where we could get a taxi. Oh man, what a day this was. The hike itself was super fun yet challenging, but we did this to ourselves. Lessons learned, I guess. Next time we should be better prepared. But what's the fun in that, right? Unexpected moments make for the most fun stories. Our next destination was one of the most famous destinations in the Dolomites, Lago di Braias, a breathtaking lake to wander around, but as expected, very crowded with tourists. The weather was pretty foggy, which delivered this unique, eerie mood. It's honestly quite a shame that such spots became so touristy and commercialized, but that's the world we live in nowadays. We really took our time to enjoy the views from the lake from every single spot. In the end, we didn't do a boat ride since we thought it was quite useless and very expensive. It cost 29 euros per 30 minutes per person. Another unfortunate thing is that I couldn't fly the drone over here, obviously, like in so many spots, which actually sucks, but I do want to respect the nature, so I just don't do it. Overall, the lake itself was super beautiful, but the heavy crowds were a turn-off once again. And this was our last major destination. You could either hike or take the cable car to get on top of this beautiful mountain range. This cable car was even more expensive, 45 euros per person, ridiculous. However, the views of the ridgeline was once again breathtaking. Even though the views were amazing, there were just so many people. Anyways, I still think you have to visit this spot as well because it's simply beautiful. A lot of what I said in this video might sound ungrateful, but we truly aren't. We've seen some of the most beautiful landscapes and lakes we've seen in our lives. But the thing that drew us towards traveling to the Dolomites with an RV is of course YouTube and Instagram. These kind of platforms often create unrealistic expectations about certain experiences in life. We just didn't expect there to be so many people, especially in September, just off season. I can't imagine what the high season like July and August would look like. We also didn't really like the RV life with 3 adult men. We had pretty limited space. And the fact that it really sucked to drive an RV in the mountains really didn't help either. One night, someone almost crashed into us. Besides that, the whole RV starts to smell after the chemical toilet, and the RV gets dirty pretty quickly. All of this resulted in us ending the holiday a couple of days early. We're beyond grateful for this experience, and even though we came back early, we learned a couple of valuable lessons. Things aren't always what they seem. Don't always trust what you see on social media. The RV life isn't for us. It might be different when you have larger roads and distances to travel, such as in Canada or the USA. The mountains of Italy definitely aren't the right place to drive an RV. The heavy crowds can usually be avoided by waking up very early or doing the hikes pretty late in the afternoon. So I would still recommend you to go to the Dolomites, but please keep these tips in mind. And yeah, it's just a beautiful destination, but next time we'd prefer to go out in nature to more quiet places.